how to keep your blood glucose in check. Number one, you have to choose foods that release glucose slowly. So there were three different kinds of carbohydrates. Type number one is your simple sugars, simple syrups, and your liquids that are very refined sources of glucose. Two carbohydrates are starches. Starch is basically many glucose chains linked together. And so you find starch in things like whole grains, in vegetables that are high in starch, like carrots and potatoes and beets. You find them in beans, so lentils, chickpeas, black beans, kidney beans. They are all very high in starch, and they are very healthy foods because they also have the third type of carbohydrate, which is fiber. Fiber is a carbohydrate that has no glucose. It has hemicellulose, cellulose, and pectin, and these are the walls of plants, the walls of the cells in plants. And what's cool about fiber is that unlike simple sugars and starch, it does not get broken down into glucose in the gut, so you don't get any kind of glucose spike by eating foods that are high in fiber. And the foods that are very high in fiber and low in starch are things like high fiber vegetables such as broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, kohlrabi. Those kinds of foods will not cause a glucose spike. And in fact, they can be used as buffers to improve the glucose spikes that you can get even with starchy foods. So while beans, for example, are a very healthy food, if you just eat a cup of beans, you're going to get a big glucose spike over time. So if I want to eat a high starch food like rice, beans, quinoa, teff, millet, any kind of high starch vegetable like potatoes, I'm going to have to balance that food with high fiber foods like vegetables that are high in fiber, as I mentioned before, as well as a good serving of protein and healthy fats. Because when you balance your high starch foods with these low starch, high fiber, protein, and healthy fat foods, you get a much better glucose response.